Charles M Webb was born on May 2, 1848 in Harrison County, Kentucky. He was the first and only child of Catherine Ashbury Webb. She passed in 1849, and his father, Hamlet Webb, married Elizabeth Long in 1854. Together they had 8 more children. Sometime after 1870, Charlie made his way to Texas, leaving the rest of his family behind in Kentucky. He was listed as an apprentice of the Brownwood Masonic Lodge 279 in November of 1873. In January 1874, he enlisted in the Brown and San Saba County Rangers under the command of J.G. Connell. In March of 1874, the newly appointed Ranger Captain of the Frontier Battalion, John B. Hughes, on an inspection tour of the Ranger campus under his command, came through the Connell camp and found it absent of command and not in order. He subsequently relieved Connell of his command and Webb of his commission. Charlie was then hired as a deputy sheriff by Brown County Sheriff James H. Gideon. On May 26, 1874, Deputy Sheriff Charlie Webb left Brown County and attended horse races in Comanche County. There, John Wesley Hardin, his brother Joe G. Hardin, and cousins Bud and Tom Dixon were racing their own horses. John, Joe, and Bud's horses came in first, second, and third, respectively. Following the races, the Hardin group, including Jim Taylor of the Sutton-Taylor feud legend, went into town in Comanche and had drinks at the Jack Wright Saloon on the northeast side of the square. John and Jim were herding cattle up the Chisholm Trail and had stopped to visit Hardin's family for his 21st birthday in Comanche. Charlie Webb approached the east entrance of the saloon and encountered Hardin on the street. A conversation ensued between the two men, Hardin accusing Webb of knowing who he was and coming to arrest him. Webb, denying this, showed him he was only carrying a cigar, not arrest warrants. Witnesses to the killing stated that Hardin was taunting Webb, while others tried to get Webb away from him. Hardin blocked his exit. There was some confusion on who shot first, but most accounts state that Webb drew first, but was shot by Hardin before his gun was out of his holster. Webb was shot in the face and another 6 times. After he was down, he was able to shoot and wound Hardin. Hardin offered to surrender to Comanche Sheriff John Carnes and handed over his gun to him. Carnes would not accept the surrender, and Hardin fled to his parents' home in Comanche, then to Round Mountain to avoid the mob of 300 residents of Brown and Comanche counties. The following day, Hardin and Jim Taylor fled for Austin. The mob stormed the county jail where Joe G. Hardin and their cousins were being held. The 3 prisoners were lynched and left to hang for hours before being cut down and buried in Oakwood Cemetery. John Hardin ended up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with his wife. He was arrested in 1877 and returned to Comanche for trial. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison in Huntsville. He served only 16 years, being released on good behavior. Following his release, he passed the bar and became a lawyer in El Paso. His life ended on August 19, 1895, in the Acme Saloon by Constable John Selman. It was assumed Selman killed Hardin because of non-payment of a debt, a murder for hire of the husband of the woman Hardin was having an affair with. Though Hardin considered himself a pillar of society and claimed he didn't kill anyone who didn't need killing, he killed over 40 men in his lifetime. Because he was killed in the line of duty, Deputy Sheriff Charles M Webb is memorialized at Panel 11 E-7 on the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Charlie was only 26 years old. He rests in the Masonic section of the Brownwood Greenleaf Cemetery.